Da, 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 da. Let's talk about notation that we are going to use throughout the class. These are the main things you want to know the notation for because they are the things that will show up in the equations that we're going to be using. For each of these, we can talk about a statistic and a parameter, and the difference matters because we're going to say these are things we want to know, and we can try to guess, but we don't really know them. Statistics, we actually do know. We have data, and we can collect them. So, for example, in the future, we're going to say, what is the value of mu? Mu being the mean as a parameter. Well, we don't know. We can guess. Could it be this value? Could it be that value? Well, we collect x bar, which is our statistic, and then we talk about how close is x bar going to be from mu. X is often used to denote data. Putting a bar over it means we're doing an average of that data. For standard deviation, the parameter is sigma. That's as good as I can draw my sigmas, okay? Those of you from Greece are going to look at that and say that's a triangle, that's not a sigma. But I have done that for so long, I can't really fix it now. That's my Greek letter sigma. The statistic, we use S. So you'll see a pattern here. We use English letters for statistics and Greek letters for parameters. Now, variance is tricky. We haven't talked about it yet, but it turns out to do the variance, you take the standard deviation and square it. So the special symbol that we're going to use is going to be sigma squared, because we're not really creative to come up with a whole new symbol. And S squared for variance. Now, proportion, you would think we're going to use p and the Greek letter p, which would be pi. The problem is, if I use pi, some of you are going to be thinking about rhubarb and cherry, while others are going to be thinking about 3.14. So using pi here, we found it to be very distracting. So I'm going to use p there, which means p hat is what I use here. The hat means this is specifically a statistic on that. Slope faces the same problem. Slope is a beta 1, but B is a letter that we use for a lot of other things, and so we're going to use beta 1 hat as our statistic. And we'll be using this notation throughout the course, assuming that you either just remember it or can look this video up again.